Hello, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading for the sign of Leo. And this is going to be for January 25th to the 31st, the last full week of January next week. So let's go ahead and pull out your romance angel messages, Leo, and then we're going to get right into your animal spirits and your spread. All right, guys. See what the romance angels have for you this week, Leo. All right, we have You Deserve Love. This card has come out, I think, for every single reading so far this week. Everyone deserves love this week. Give your relationship a chance. And romantic feelings. Wow, these are almost the identical cards from the reading that I just did for Cancer. So let's just move these down just a little bit so we can get everything in. Let's go ahead and pull out your animal spirits and see what kind of animal spirits you may be dealing with this week. Now, animal spirits can, of course, be extra energies coming available to you. They can be people you may be dealing with or stages in your life that you're maybe entering into. Again, just take what applies to you, my lovely Leos. Panther, strong, beautiful fire energy. Ruler of chaos in a lot of ways. We have the unicorn, showed up earlier also. I believe it was for Gemini. And we have the snake. Earth energy for the snake. Of course, talking about that creative potential that we are beginning to manifest, right? So let's just get into your animal spirits really quickly before we move into your forecast for the week. The panther is associated with chaos, right? It's fire elemental animal spirit. And the panther brings chaos into our life when our lives need to be shaken up, when everything needs to be sort of annihilated that is old and that is keeping us tied to the past and really inhibiting our growth. Even if we don't realize it, oftentimes the panther can come in really like a bolt out of the blue, cause a lot of chaos in a lot of ways, but once the dust settles, we often find yourself in a much better position for growth. More opportunities are available, and it was a necessary sort of change, right? Shocking, but necessary. The unicorn is associated with the alchemical symbol for ether and also the sixth chakra, which is the third eye. And of course, the unicorn talks about opening up that third eye, becoming more attuned to the supernatural, to things that are unseen by regular sort of vision, to becoming more in tune with the spiritual side of life, receiving messages, right, from the spiritual side of life. And all of this requires a little bit of faith. And so the unicorn really reminds us that if we want that side of our life to increase, if we want our spiritual sort of connections to increase, then we also have to have a sense of faith as well, you know. It all begins with a sense of faith, and even the belief in sort of the supernatural or the otherworldly side of life, side of living and existence, all also demands a certain amount of faith in order for you to open up that third eye. So unicorn energy just brings in an element of magic into your life, and certainly a feeling that you want more magic in your life. Now, the snake is associated with earth energy, and the snake is really representative of you fulfilling your potential right now. This could be a feeling of suddenly tapping into talents or skills that you didn't realize you had before, tapping into desires or passions to express yourself in a creative way that perhaps you hadn't experienced before. And now all of a sudden there's all of this potential that's building up. You're starting to see your own potential for how creative you can be. And it's happening in a real practical way because earth and snake is an earth element. And so This is also a real sort of on the ground, practical sort of reaffirmation of talent, creative talent that you have. You may have created something, you may have made something, you may have been involved in some sort of creative effort, and just without even thinking of it really much, right? But because you have that a certain amount of already innate talent, you were able to produce something really beautiful, and it may have shocked you, right? In a lot of ways, this could be very new to you. But in any case, Leo, this is definitely the awakening of a very creative side to yourself that you're wanting to explore now. Let's go ahead and get your forecasts out for the week. These forecasts, of course, are separate from each other, so you may only resonate with one of them or even just a portion of one. Certainly, you may not, definitely won't resonate with all three necessarily, right? Because they are intended for separate Leos. So just take what you can. All right, straight out. Leo, judgment coming in for you. Star energy showing up everywhere this week, and Ten of Swords. Well, for some of you, you're coming in this week with a real feeling of reconciliation. You're wanting to review an event or a connection with someone that perhaps you'd like to give it another chance. You do have give your relationship a chance, which is one of the messages. So it could very well be that this week you're wanting to sort of maybe revisit a connection, revisit a union or a love connection with someone perhaps. You're willing to perhaps hear them out, or as it says, give them another chance. You certainly have felt like maybe you're seeing it from a different perspective. That's what judgment is all about, realizing that you're seeing things from a different perspective. You're met with star energy, and this star card has come out in this position for quite a lot of the readings. A lot of people this week are going to be faced with reevaluating their lives in a sense of, are you following the path that you want for your life? Have you veered off of the path? Do you still have your eye on the prize? Do you still have your eye on your ultimate wish for your life? And are you being very intentional about working towards that wish? Fertilizing that, the ground to make that wish manifest, in the sense of making sure that the decisions that you're making and the paths that you're taking, the actions that you're taking are all working towards that goal. Sometimes we find ourselves a little bit off, veering off of our path, or having maybe even accepted that our ultimate goal is unattainable or something like that, right? And so star energy is a card or energy that comes into our lives. Certainly when it shows up in a reading, it means that you're really starting to get inspired again to follow your wishes, your ultimate goal, the sort of ambitious desire that we have for our lives. And so this week you're really met with that. It could be that unicorn energy is coming in and events are happening that are really inspiring you again. And anyway, in any case, this is a real sense of self-confidence being boosted, awareness being boosted. You round your week off with a Ten of Swords, which is a real feeling of letting go of suffering. It feels like for some of you, you've really turned a corner in a lot of ways. You've turned a corner in sort of getting right back on track to following your true wish for your life. Sometimes we're waylaid, like if we have kids, we have to raise our children, and it can be years before we get back on track to actually following our own hopes and dreams, right, for ourselves. But in any case, this feels like it's the end of a lot of struggle, and now you certainly are able to go right back to sort of following your path, certainly reconciling and mending bridges, perhaps with people that you have lost contact with. Also, judgment can indicate a release of sort of guilt that you may have held on to, also sort of, I want to say increasing the strength you have to lay these Ten of Swords down, certainly, right? To finally say, yeah, enough suffering is over. So you've kind of had this epiphany as well for some of you. It's a really nice week, Leo. A really nice week. And it feels like a real week of reaffirmation for you that you're well and truly on a new path. Remember what I said, 2020 is going to be a big year of blessings and success coming in for people who have worked for a really long time. And this is just another reaffirmation week for you, Leo, of that. Six of Wands, Page of Swords, and Nine of Cups. Again, more sort of victory coming in, Leo. Six of Wands is a real public victory that you have that people can see. You're doing really well. It's a feeling of vindication in a lot of ways. It could be that something has happened that really proves a lot of the naysayers around you wrong. You come into the week with this beautiful energy, and you're met with the Page of Swords, this feeling of sort of it could be that Page of Swords comes in for you this week because there may be people who seek to sort of knock you down off of this victory. There could be some jealousy coming your way, or people who are, hateration, you know what I'm saying? And Page of Swords is the one you want to show up for that, because the Page of Swords works very actively to fight against any negativity, any outside negative energy coming in. He really sort of swings his sword and fights against that, and also any internal doubt that you may have. And certainly with a victory like this, it could be that for some of you, you've suddenly been propelled in some area of your life, right? You may be getting a lot of attention coming in. Sometimes it's at those times in our lives that the biggest pressures come in. Sometimes it's at those times in our lives that some of the biggest haters show up too. Sometimes the bigger your success, the deeper the hatred that some people will have for you. And so you really, it almost seems that these are some of the times where you have to fight the most against self-doubt and negative energy coming in. Nevertheless, this is what you kind of go through, and you meet it head on. You round your week off with Nine of Cups, which is a real feeling of being blessed. You find out who your friends are. You're very blessed with the relationships that you do have. And you come out of this week feeling really, really good. Certainly having gained a certain level of appreciation and gratitude for what you have. And also, I think this whole experience here of this victory and how certain people may react is definitely going to get you to understand that whoever your good friends are, even if they are but a few, they are blessings. And so you really round your week off with a sense of being blessed and understanding a bit more about your life, and certainly understanding a little bit more about your deeper connections. And it's all as a result of this great victory that comes in, and the change to your life that happens as a result of it. Three of Cups, Empress energy, and a Four of Wands. So some of you are coming into this week with a real feeling of celebration. Three of Cups has shown up a lot for the weekly reading as well for the 25th. And a lot of you are going to be celebrating with friends, maybe reconnecting with people, maybe sort of rebonding with people that you've lost connections with. A lot of people are celebrating together. And you're met with this Empress energy. This is a real feeling of being pampered, being nurtured. You feel really beautiful. You feel sort of very receptive and open. The Empress is all about that. She's all about sort of a high level of creativity. She's the divine feminine, so she's the ultimate mother, so she's ultimate nurturer, but she's also the Empress, right? So she's the ultimate twin flame to a masculine energy, right? The divine feminine. So she's beautiful, she's sensitive, she's sensual, all of that. She also is very strong, right? She understands the need for continually taking care of herself and her mind, her body, and her soul. She reflects her inner qualities in her environment. This is all a testament to her power over creativity and being able to create the surroundings that she feels comfortable in. All of this is about really self-love and nurturing, right? You deserve love. And this is certainly one of the first laws of attraction, is that you have to feel beautiful and in your power. And this is exactly how you're feeling this week, Leo. The celebrations you're having and the energy that you're emitting this week, that's coming to you this week, that you're tapping into. And you round your week off with a Four of Wands. It's almost as if there's absolute law of attraction in motion very quickly, because all of these good vibes and this sort of high level of self-confidence here is pulling in a new relationship. Four of Wands is Venus and Aries, so it's generally talking about a new relationship that's come in that right away is a strong, stable connection, a equal connection. This generally indicates the coming together of two people who right away celebrate their union. They right away see that they found their perfect match, right? And so this is oftentimes, we call this, of course, the 1111, but it's the twin flame journey card. It's when two people just meet who are soulmates and who are also both emotionally healthy and spiritually healthy to meet in the right way at the right time, that this is a positive relationship, right? So we're not just talking about two people who simply love each other but have a terrible toxic relationship that's unhappy. This is where everything slots in together, and both of you have the same level of love and respect for each other, so that the relationship right away is a really beautiful journey. And this is something you're calling in, Leo. And for some of you, this is a really sort of beautiful thing that is that has been a long time in the coming, right? I think for some of you, you feel like you deserve love, and it's the potential, all of this strong potential, the belief in magic. This is all quite culminating to a really beautiful position and a very nice week for some of you Leos, definitely, who will be falling in love with somebody in a very strong way. All right, my lovelies, this is your reading for January 25th to the 31st. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to hit the bell for notification. If you want to get a private reading, you can follow the link at the top of your screen. If you are a international booking and you're having issues scheduling your reading, just email me and we can do it manually or through PayPal at bowandarrowtarot@gmail.com. But for right now, my lovely Leos, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time for your weekly. Bye-bye now.